case you haven't figured it out yet, what I do better than anybody is adapt. Last night was plan A. Tonight, plan B. There's always a plan B. Oh my God!
Welcome to the Great Wrestling Debate, everybody. Yes, it was the chair shot heard all the way around the world.
Just happened. Are you kidding me? Rollins got a piece of something, Ambrose.
Yes, and then the priceless facial reaction by Dean Ambrose and the attack on Dean Ambrose. I guess the Shield as a whole are no more, as from what we saw on Raw, and that kind of erased everything, sort of as far as like what happened at Payback, and
Are you saying?
Very
Are
interesting.
you telling me I should even go through my review? Of the
No, we
pay-per-view?
can. No, I guess obviously we'll have a lot to talk about with the Shield then, but yeah, I guess we can start and go.
Because obviously,
through
once
Payback.
again, I was the one who watched the pay-per-view because someone
But,
still will not
no.
subscribe to the network.
But really, like what I wanted to see out of the Payback pay-per-view, I'm able to see on Dean Ambrose's Vimeo channel, because they post like everything that the Shield does, including their pay-per-view matches. So I was able to.
Well, that's really gonna vanish though, since the Shield has been split.
Right. Yeah. So I did see the Shield match, which I'll be able to review that part pretty well. But the rest of from what I gather, like most of the card before that was kind of just, I don't know, some rush matches or whatever, just didn't live up to it. And from what I hear, the John Cena and Bray Wyatt last man standing match kind of became like a 6-man tag match in a sense, from what I hear.
Yeah, well, at least it wasn't Cena beating up 3 members of the Wyatt family all by himself. At least it was kind of like, okay, I got backup.
Right. Yeah.
And this was easily their best match, but we'll get to that. So Payback from Chicago, obviously. Chicago had a lot of stuff on their mind that night anyway, because of the Blackhawks, which I even screwed up during your Facebook deal on that. Probably because I was so excited about that series, and nobody saw New York Rangers making the Stanley Cup. But anyway, so Chicago had a lot of stuff on their mind, obviously. But for the pre-show, it's a WLC match. Well, no. Screw that. It's good. That was last week. No. It was hair versus mask between Hornswoggle and El Torito.
Right, which we predicted. Yeah.
It was a comedy match here, but it was pretty much a basic match. The fans at one point were chanting, "This is awesome!" at one point. So at one point they had Hornswoggle remove El Torito's mask, but he had a second mask underneath him. Yeah. So obviously they're playing up the whole idea that this is a I guess mutated bull and not a guy in a bull costume.
Yes.
Okay. But no. So Hornswoggle, I guess, thinks that's how you win a match for some reason. Anyway, moonsault by El Torito, pinfall, 1, 2, 3. Then they do the shaving of Hornswoggle's hair. At least the top part. I mean, obviously he still had some stuff hanging in the back yet. So obviously, I think it was due to time constraints too. I think they started coming to the conclusion that they were not getting the whole hair off.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so that happened. There were some funny shots of Hornswoggle, like with all the shaving cream, which
Cut the freaking thing, will you?
Which JBL pretty much called at one point whipped cream.
Whipped cream, yeah,
by accident. So anyway, so El Torito wins. Hornswoggle has his head shaved. Not really looking too. I guess obviously with him being a movie star now with the Leprechaun movie, I guess he's gonna need to go back again or whatever. Something. But anyway, we then start the pay-per-view off with Cesaro versus Sheamus, and as soon as Paul Heyman comes out, a massive CM Punk chant starts off, and you know what? To WWE's credit, once again, they were able to really shut everybody up pretty much. Yeah. And I think it had a lot to do with who the chants were usually directed at, because honestly, there wasn't that many chants the whole night. It was like in every match or every moment.
Yeah.
It was
people were maybe getting it
Well, yeah, well, especially since you had hit the man himself finally conduct an interview and he said, "Yeah, I'm retired."
Yeah.
Pretty much. But Paul Heyman, the best heel in the game right now, is actually saying, "Well, he's not here. He's at the AT&T Center watching the Blackhawks lose to the LA Kings."
Yeah.
Then but anyway, so the match between Sheamus and Cesaro was actually very good.
Pretty deep. Yeah, I mean,
actually
pretty decent from what I hear. Yeah.
Very good match. For some reason, people were training Sheamus sucks. I mean, I get the fact. I get the fact that his character's probably stale, and that he probably should definitely turn heel soon. But the guy's an athlete. He was showing it off in his match. Yeah. The guy's an athlete. So the thing that got people pissed off, I think, was the finish. And I think WWE was thinking, my question was, okay, we can't have Sheamus beat up Cesaro straight up because that kills Cesaro's momentum, I think.
Yeah.
But what they did was they did a roll up, kind of saying, "Oh, Sheamus escaped it." Yeah, but it was a roll up after Cesaro hits the giant swing. Technically, Sheamus is supposed to be dizzy and such, but it sounds like he just, as soon as Cesaro was about to pick him for neutralizer, Sheamus just out of nowhere 1-2. So it felt like he no-sold the giant swing.
Yeah.
Which great. It's not a lethal move, but it's an entertaining move, and it's almost like somebody no-sell the people's elbow off the rock. You get it. It's not a lethal move, but anyway, so I didn't really like the finish, but anyway, Sheamus wins, retains his belt. Oh crap! How was somebody drawing a blank with the order card? Oh, the Rhodes family against Rybaxel.
Yeah.
This was
a further implosion of the.
Yes, this was a match that started via the WWE app, and the pre-show even acknowledged this too. Like, you don't have the app, well, you missed this confrontation backstage in that. But so it was a basic 7-minute match. Really, the Goldberg chant stopped with Ryback. I mean, it was a small one, but really, I think people have just come to the conclusion this is a not Goldberg that they're looking at.
And especially with the way he's, hasn't really gotten any sort of a push in almost a year now, really. So.
Yes. But, no, I mean, Cody gets pinned, 1, 2, 3. You think the heel turn's happening. And all Cody says was, no, I think, Tony pretty much tells Goldberg, no, I think you just need a new partner. So I'm done. So just find a new partner, essentially. Kind of shocked. I wasn't expecting that, but you're expecting a Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels like turn, essentially. Essentially a kick or whatever. But anyway, Rybaxel beats the Rhodes family, and obviously the Brotherhood has been, I guess, broken up now, but not the way everybody thought it would happen. Then we had, I believe it was Rusev versus Big E, Russia, versus US.
A guy who resides in Russia, apparently.
Well, a Bulgarian that's a Russian, even though Rusev is actually Polish.
Yeah.
But, WWE, I guess, hey, we're European and that. But I will say this, Lana looks very attractive. She's usually the hottest female on this roster. Just has amazing legs. I'm just going to say that. But anyway, Rusev, fighting Big E. It was actually a very, very athletic match. These are two big athletic guys, actually. But I'd say Rusev is pretty much being set up as like Umaga, essentially. He doesn't talk. Lets Lana do the talking, and he just destroys everybody, even the big guys. And Big E, to be honest with you, it wasn't a squash match, but he didn't get a whole lot of offense in this match.
It was only like 3 minutes.
It was a very dominating win for Rusev, and this is probably his biggest win yet. And man, when he fights a big name soon and beats that person, watch out. This is a guy that's probably gonna get a world title shot sooner than later.
Yeah.
Let's see. I believe then was the Daniel Bryan decision. I believe I'm trying to think here, but I think it was the Daniel Bryan decision.
Yeah.
Decision.
So
Daniel Bryan says he's going to retain. He's going to hang on to the belt essentially, and Brie will not let Stephanie. Well, no, I should say this. This is when the second pretty much massive CM Punk chat started of the night. Pretty much Stephanie's talking, and Bryan's about to talk too, but then this is massive CM Punk chat breaking out. And Bryan just stops for a second, and I think he's waiting for them to finish because he doesn't really, he's not the biggest mic talker, and he doesn't. I don't think he knows how to respond to that. Here comes Stephanie McMahon, and maybe the biggest ponage of the crowd the whole night, saying, "You're right. You should tell Daniel Bryan to quit, just like CM Punk did."
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the fans just shut the hell up, essentially. And in fact, I think that was the last CM Punk chat of the night. And, it was pretty much WWE finally also acknowledging on camera, essentially. Yeah, the guy quit. He's gone. It's not a sabbatical. He quit. He took his ball and he walked home.
Yeah.
Get out!
So, I mean, it was actually, it was nice. Brie Bella says pretty much, no, you're not going to fire me. I quit.
Yeah.
And then the slap heard around the world happened.
Yeah.
And Brie Bella probably got over as most as he's ever going to get in her career.
Right, yeah.
And of course, Raw repercussions happen. We'll see what happens in Money in the Bank now. There's been mixed reports on the whole idea that they're going with Bryan now. But anyway, then Bo Dallas versus Kofi Kingston. This started when Kofi was on the pre-show. He was on the which is pretty much like college. It's him, Alex Riley, Booker T, Josh Matthews. Before the pay-per-view, they're kind of all talking about the matches, and they get to Shield versus Evolution, and I should say it was the Daniel Bryan segment. And Kofi supposedly said on his Twitter account, it's like the authority's abusing. He should not have to choose between the title and his wife, and blah blah blah. All of a sudden, Booker T gets this thing like saying, Kofi, I just learned from somebody backstage that by the authority, you got a match with Bo Dallas tonight.
Yeah.
And I wasn't complaining, I'm saying this is nice. This is Bo's chance to showcase himself on a pay-per-view finally. So when the match is about to start, Kane's music hits, and already I'm saying, oh boy, this is going to get interesting now. So the match never starts, but we do get, of course, the match on Raw then. But it looks like Bo, like I said, he's supposed to be like this cheesy baby face, is going to help Kofi fight Kane. And all of a sudden, as Kane gets in the ring, Bo just leaves the ring. He's still outside the ring, but he just leaves. And Kofi kind of has a look like what? And then just, instead of doing what he does, decides to attack Kane, gets his ass kicked, and then Kane leaves the ring, after tombstoning Kofi. Bo Dallas is on the outside. All of a sudden, grabs a microphone, and this is when paramedics are looking on Kofi and Bo comes in and goes, Kofi, don't worry. You're going to get up eventually.
Yeah.
Which actually got a few people laughing, and I was laughing my ass off too, because this is what he does on a regular basis on NXT. At least he did. He's no longer on NXT anymore. Yeah. But anyway, Beard says, anyway, we're going to have our match of entry, but right now, all you got to do is just leave.
Yeah.
But, and actually, he got some boos too, so I think some people are finally starting to get the character. He's this cheesy baby face, but he's pretty much a heel.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was actually a nice pay-per-view debut for Bo Dallas. He didn't wrestle a match, but he showed off that character that I liked on NXT, and I think Bo Dallas' character is going to get way more over than the Adam Rose character is right now. That's what it feels like, based on the first few weeks. But again, they also debuted differently too. But anyway, I believe the next match was Bad News Barrett. Yes, it was Bad News Barrett versus RVD.
Yeah.
It was a pretty basic match. I would say it was as good as the Sheamus Cesaro one. They didn't really have as much time.
Yeah.
Split crowd though. You got Bad News Barrett and RVD split chance. So see what happens there. Ends with a bullhammer. It was a pretty basic match, but Bad News Barrett wins clean pretty much over Rob Van Dam, which is what I think everybody expected. I don't think anybody thought that Rob Van Dam was going to win.
Yeah.
So we get to Cena versus Wyatt in the Last Man Standing. Before the match starts, it looks like the Wyatts are going to do a 3-on-1 assault on Cena. Then the Usos music hits, and then you got it's 3-on-3 now essentially. At one point, the Wyatt family and the Usos take each other out essentially, because they kind of just vanish. Then they kind of get taken to the back. And at this point, the match is getting very personal between Bray and Cena. There's actually some pretty nice spots they threw in here. Yeah. But then at one point, I think it's when Cena has Bray knocked out or something. It looks like Bray's about to get counted out. That's when all of a sudden Luke Harper and Eric Rowan come out from the back and start attacking Cena then. You don't see the Usos for a while yet, though. So I don't know if they fought their way to the back and the Usos got taken out in the back. But anyway, I think it was 5 minutes later, and this is after Eric Rowan has 3 tables set up on the outside of the ring. Yeah. All of a sudden, Jimmy and Jay come down. Don't know where they were 5 minutes ago, but they come down and they start beating up. And there were actually 2 nice table spots. Eric Rowan gets taken out by, I think it was Jimmy. I don't know. It's tough to they're kind of identical, but and I think Michael Cole gets confused once in a while too. I mean, supposedly what they do now is that one has like their face paint on one side, the other has their face paint on the other side, kind of like that way you can distinguish who's who. But anyway, Eric Rowan gets taken out by a nice table spot, and then Luke Harper almost killed himself, suplexing the top rope through a table. Anyway, the match ends with Cena and Bray fighting all the way up to the I think it's where the tech like pyrotechnic stuff is at essentially. On one of the equipment, Cena attitude adjustment through one of the I guess it's like one of the sound boxes or something. Yeah.
Oh my God!
And just to make sure he doesn't get out of the sound box, Cena unleashes his super strength and throws I think it's one of like the storage containers in that, which knowing people who do work stage in that, those are usually very heavy. Yeah. And Cena just flips it on top of Bray so that way like he can't like lift it out. Yeah. So, he can't get up for 10. Cena wins. I think we all knew this was pretty much going to be the result. Yeah. Cena does not lose rubber matches.
Yeah,
this was the rubber match. They didn't really explain that very much on Raw. And Bray's promo on SmackDown wasn't really much of an indicator either whether this feud is dead or not. I think it is. I think they told everything they needed to tell in the story. And I think hopefully Bray can recover from it. I think he can.
That's the thing.
I think it's gonna be tough to find an opponent after this feud.
Yeah.
But no. Anyway, so Cena beats Bray. Fans obviously weren't really happy about the results of that. But I think most people even had the feeling that they even knew it. They just didn't want to see it happen.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, then we have Alicia Fox versus Paige. Pretty basic Divas match.
Yeah.
The only thing I felt like let down was that the meltdown. I guess at this stage in the game now is that it was just a buffer between the two main event matches, pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
So it was like
Bathroom
Raw
break.
but it wasn't like Raw where she had like 5 minutes of a meltdown. It felt like they only gave like, okay, at least you have 2 minutes to do whatever you want to do essentially, and it wasn't like a massive meltdown. It felt like she was trying to stay calm and just like running weirdly to the back essentially. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of disappointment. I was expecting more of a meltdown. But anyway, Paige retains the title. And then we got to the main event. Shield versus Evolution, Elation match. And as soon as Evolution comes out, there's already a trending happening with Batista.
Blue teeth. I mean, he didn't look like he fit in there.
Well, somebody said that maybe... Well, yeah, because clearly Triple H had black trunks and Randy Orton had black trunks.
Yeah.
Some people were wondering, there was a joke going around on Twitter saying, well, clearly Batista did not get the dress memo that he was supposed to wear black trunks tonight.
Yeah.
Because here comes Orton wearing black trunks, George wearing black trunks, and here's Batista wearing these bright-ass blue trunks.
Yeah, and like darker blue elbow pads. And I don't know why. I mean, he always wears black trunks since like the other guys did.
But yeah, no. That Blue Batista. So anyway, Blue Batista ends up trending like number 1 for a while.
Yeah.
Even on Raw the next night, even though he wasn't wearing any trunks. Really.
Right.
But I mean, no, it was a pretty good. It was actually a pretty nice match.
Starts off with brawling outside the ring.
Yeah, but then it turns into an actual tag team. Then it goes brawling again.
I didn't necessarily understand like how it turned. Like it turned into like sort of like a tag match. Mm-hmm. Even though it was no holds barred, but then like later on, it didn't seem like there was any like eligible partner, who what I mean.
Well,
like, I didn't understand that.
I mean,
they might as well.
Think about too. It's no holds barred, Tyler. Too. Technically, that means if you're eliminated, you don't have to leave the ringside.
Yeah.
Either.
Well, I mean,
they were staying. How about? I mean, you gotta see it at the end of the match, but
I mean, they were saying.
I mean, some people said there definitely were some holes in the match.
Yeah, but it was still.
But to me, it was small. It was so small that made you like say. Move it from like a 4-star to a 3-star match. I think you just nitpicking that.
As the match went on, I cared about it less really because then it got interesting and then it kind of turned into more of what you wanted it to be.
Well, Ty, you gotta understand, WWE. It's not like I think the problem some people have is that they look at independent and like Coy even talked to somebody one time who works the independent scene at Kutztown. Yeah. Like he actually met a guy that he's an ex-professional wrestler with independent scene, and he's WWE because that's what's the PG, but it's just like. They're more about slow, methodical wrestling. It's like, but they're trying to tell a story.
Yeah.
It's not the independent scene where it's spot. And, that's great. It's entertaining that. But after a while, what happens is, this was like Ring of Honor's problem at one point too, is that you would have guys in the first match kill each other for 15 minutes. And then you have the second match kill each other for 15 minutes. You wouldn't. What makes but what you pretty much do is that you put more pressure on the main event guys, aka the money match, who everybody's supposed to watch, and B, you're killing each other for no apparent reason essentially. Because all you really is doing is just saying, yeah, we don't really have a story in this feud here. We're just gonna, we're just in this position to just try to steal the show. Well, not everybody's gonna steal the show, and I don't want anybody needs to trying to steal the show. But anyway, no. So I didn't have a problem when the match slowed down. I knew that they were trying to tell the story.
I didn't either. I just didn't. I don't know. There's a question I had.
I think the one problem I had here was that it felt like the story at one point was that Evolution could have eliminated any of these guys at any time, really. Yeah. And that kind of felt like a negativity towards the match.
But the thing, that's I guess.
But you could have also said that's just them being cocky heels and. No, this isn't about elimination. This is about punishing them, and
they could.
You just want to pin them. You want to beat up the hell out of them and then pin them, maybe.
Yeah, they could have. Yeah. There was one time, obviously, when they had Roman Reigns in the ring, and they're just kendo sticking him. They ripped the the vest off. That was like a first time that's somebody did something like that, and that was an example when they could have eliminated him. But still, it was storytelling really.
Yeah, and you could have felt it more almost like a passing of the torch, definitely moment too, where it's like you gotta let the veterans beat the hell out of you because I think even JBL brought us at one time. Like back in the day, the whole idea was you got the shit kicked out of you by the veterans, and if you did bitch and moan about it, you were a main event star then technically. So Reigns got his ass kicked that one time. Especially when you see the kendo stick marks on his back. Because they weren't. Which
only got exasperated the next night more. Orton
and Batista didn't hold back though when they were beating out him with the kendo stick.
Right.
But no, I knew when the match was starting to drag out and it was getting close to the end of the pay-per-view, I'm like the show's gonna sweep this thing.
Yeah.
There's no way to finish this match except that.
Yeah. So and it got it interesting again. I don't know if there's that 1-6 spot early in the match when Triple H and Seth Rollins were like brawling near this this area, and then just out of nowhere, like Seth Rollins jumps to Triple H. Triple H just like throws a monitor right in his face.
Yeah,
that was a good.
That was actually a nice spot. Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was with him jumping on top,
and then later on,
Seth Rollins
off the Tron,
the crazy man that he is, jumping off the top of the stage onto. Yeah, I believe it was Evolution, and I believe it was Dean Ambrose and Evolution too.
Yeah, like Ambrose was like kind of hiding behind the part of the stage there. Yeah, and then he came.
Which way he even saw like kind of Ambrose was kind of trying to hide
set
too.
Things up. Yeah.
But anyway, so it was Rollins, Batista in the ring at one point by themselves. Then pretty much. Reigns, I think he spears him. Then Rollins capitalizes 1, 2, 3. So Batista's the first one out. No. He actually needs Triple H there. All that happens is Batista's going for the bomb, but Rollins gets out of it, and then Reigns just hits a spear on him, and then Rollins pins him. Then Orton comes in, hits an RKO on Rollins, but then Ambrose comes in and hits his finisher on a steel chair. Right. So now Orton's out. So now it's down to Triple H.
Dirty deeds, they call it.
Yep. It's pretty much down to him and Rollins. Looks like Rollins is about to capitalize. That Batista comes in and spears him. Then while the officials are distracted by trying to get Batista to the back, Orton kind of just sneaks up and kind of gives Triple H his sledgehammer essentially. So then, as that happens, Randy Orton kind of just like walks to the back too, because I guess he's kind of like selling the head injury, like I can barely see right now and such, but. Anyway, so it looks like Triple H is about to strike Reigns with the sledgehammer. Then all of a sudden, Rollins comes over and hits his like flying knee to the face kind of deal. Then Orton and then Reigns hits the spear. 1, 2, 3. Shield sweep Evolution, which is what I think I said Evolution's going to win here. But that's because I think about the Triple H feud.
Yeah.
Granted, based on Raw, that feud's still going to happen now. They just pulled a 180 where I don't think anybody saw it coming. Especially after last night's finish, you would have thought. Man, dominant performance on their part. So why would one of them turn their backs and join technically the losing team who was the man down?
Yeah. So
I
guess.
I guess we're going to Raw then.
Yeah. Which then of course started with Evolution coming out.
Yes.
After the loss, and essentially Batista quitting again.
It was actually very. He was kind of like
the way, that funny wave.
like the Queen of England wave.
But the thing was, no, but I mean, I kind of like how they set this up. I mean, it was pretty plausible, like how they, like Batista, like I still have a title match and stuff.
Well, he still
chance
has
for Batista to redeem himself.
Well, he still has this 1-on-1 title match that he's supposed to earned at the Royal Rumble.
Even though
that vanished.
Even though Orton, really has the a rematch.
Yeah, but Orton's
still,
a kiss ass. That's his character.
Right. So it shows Batista he wanted to break off and if you see the sit down interview with Michael Cole, he kind of Triple H kind of points to that like. Dave Batista, he's a quitter. That's what he does, and he's off to Hollywood for a little while. But anyways,
Triple H tried kind of taking a dig at Guardians of the Galaxy there.
Yeah, he was.
Go back and film that crappy movie, huh?
Yeah,
it's like I disagree with that. I think Guardians is going to be an amazing movie.
So yeah, I mean, at that point, I'm thinking, well, Triple H, it still seems like in some way he wants to continue this feud. So I'm thinking. Maybe they recruit a new member of Evolution. But
well, that's what I was thinking too. But I'm thinking who on the roster?
I'm thinking who on the roster? Yeah, like they bring up a new guy from NXT or I don't know. But anyways, I mean we proceed through the night.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well, Bo Dallas beats Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, and then there's this and that, and other than that, I mean you have this Cena,
Rusev,
you have that before the shoot. Yeah, I mean, with the Russian national
anthem. Yes,
I'm thinking.
Yes,
I'm thinking.
This should be Rusev's theme song. This is an amazing national anthem.
Yeah. I'm thinking Rocky IV again.
Yes.
When Drago comes out and
this is like the perfect villain national anthem. Essentially,
pretty much.
I mean, the World Cup's coming up. Russia's in it there, and when I watch Russia, I'm going to get psyched up for that national anthem when it plays because it sounds like like such a villainous theme song. Actually.
Yeah. So we had that segment, and then I guess before we get to the end, I mean, we had the Cena and Stephanie McMahon segment. Stephanie McMahon saying how, all right, if Daniel Bryan's got to be ready to face Kane at the Money in the Bank pay-per-view.
Yes.
And, she kind of mentions how, and if he's not, then we're going to have to pull the title from him. And, Cena kind of says, like, how could you do this and this and that? And it's like, well, I mean, if you look at the history of WWE, with the exception of, CM Punk, the champion has always had to, been able to defend the title at the pay-per-views. And if, Daniel Bryan's unable to, essentially this will be the second straight pay-per-view that he'll be unable to defend the title, and then it kind of makes sense. So
WWE's hope was that
people wouldn't realize that.
No. But that Bryan in 8 weeks can recuperate from minor neck surgery. Although as Jim Ross said in his podcast, he said, "Listen, this is no such thing as minor neck surgery.
Yeah,
tell me, no such thing as minor surgery in general.
Yeah, but especially the neck. I mean,
well, yeah, especially the neck.
Yeah, it's not a wrist.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there could be minor wrist surgery, and I mean, you could pretty much go for rehab, recuperate. You can go for rehab, and but a neck. As soon as you have any neck damage in that, it's not that's never the same again.
Yeah, take Edge for example.
Well, yeah, because even when he came back, he said he still had lingering effects from that injury. Like it never went away. Great. His was so major he had to miss a full year essentially.
Yeah, and now
Bryan kind of got lucky there because that. Who knows if that would have killed his momentum? Because Edgy had said that pretty much killed his momentum. He pretty much, came back and he had to almost turn heel almost instantly because, when you're gone that long, fans start to forget about you. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But no, so the deal is that Bryan hopefully can work Money in the Bank. Grant, the match between him and Kane was supposedly going to be buried alive at one point.
Yeah.
Now they said stretcher match, which I think, honestly, it's tough to do a buried alive match in a PG era.
Yeah.
It's almost like Hell in a Cell, really, and even a steel cage match, or even forget a first blood match at a stage.
Yeah.
It's tough to say you're a PG product, and it's like, you're going to be in the structure, and it's going to be lethal and vicious, and nobody bleeds in these matches.
Right.
Tough to convince about how people are getting, their ass kicked, and there's no blood.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, clearly he's not, this steel structure is not, that vicious of steel is at you, to the point where your skin's getting blooded in
Right.
that. But right, so it's gonna be a stretcher match, and then Stephanie brings up the whole. Well, if he does it, Money in the Bank for the first time is going to be
then-
for the actual
yeah.
championship, not first shot at
Yeah.
a championship. There's a report now in the Bleacher Report that said that was not in the script. Stephanie kind of did a shoot there.
Yeah.
As in, maybe she lost track and just said, "Oh yeah, we'll just throw that in there." So now the company is because what I heard originally was that, okay, if he can't make Money in the Bank, then we'll just Battleground then, because they'll definitely make Battleground.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't know what the state of Brian is. Obviously he's it's to the point he can walk to the ring.
Right.
I mean, obviously he's walking fine. The question is, can he take an impact?
Yeah.
Because even if it's minor neck surgery, he can't come back too early because that neck is so kind of sensitive to the point where any type of spot,
Yeah.
especially since he does a diving headbutt now,
Right.
which
yeah.
if I was him, don't do it that much anymore because
Yeah.
let's look at past superstars who've done that and their issues that they've had as far as head trauma goes.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, so I don't know what WWE's plan is. I think the fact that they announced the match actually on like a payback means that they probably are gonna go for it. But at the same time, maybe Brian's not ready. Maybe he's like still a week away after that. Well, I'm just interested, especially after Stephanie says it. Now they can easily correct it. They can easily say, "Well, you can't do that, Stephanie. It's you can't. I mean, hell, I remember one time like." Granted, this was all storyline based. Remember one time, like Orton was the GM one time, and to punish Triple H, he said, "You're gonna defend your whatever championship in a battle royal." And then Vince McMahon comes out and says, "No, battle royal. The problem, how do you say that? Because battle royal means anybody can win, and not everybody's going to be a whatever champion."
Yeah.
And they start like naming names like, who would see the Hurricane as the whatever champion? Who would see Stevie Richards be the whatever champion? Like just throwing names out essentially. So, he can easily say, no, it's a ladder match with like 8 people.
Yeah.
Anybody can win this match technically.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, it sounds like they're very confident that Brian is gonna recover in time, but there's also that small chance that he might be like a week away and he's just not gonna recover in time. And obviously, since it's a neck injury, you don't want to rush that.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'd hate to see like just the Money in the Bank ladder match just be for the, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because then there'd be no cash in at all this year, because in recent years, I mean, there's been 2 Money in the Bank matches, and there's been 2 opportunities for cash.
This year it's one. This year
it'd only be one, and it'd be for a bigger championship, essentially now because they're combined. So
one championship is 2 belts.
So you kind of take that big moment away, I guess.
Speaking of Money in the Bank, the first qualifier kind of got some people glued to their seats because essentially you had 2 guys who have been jobbers pretty much for the past couple of months, and somebody's got to win.
Yeah.
And obviously the loser clearly, at least in fans' eyes, is clearly on the dark is more in the doghouse than the winner is. Clearly.
Right. Yeah. And that is Dolph Ziggler.
Yes, everybody's hoping it was going to be Del Rio losing, but then Ziggler loses. Everybody's saying, "Well, I guess we know who's in the doghouse now."
Yeah. So
our jobber beats beats Ziggler pretty much. Again, both of those guys were jobbers.
Right.
But Del Rio being Ziggler clearly proves that one is more liked backstage than the other is.
Right. So that's
great.
that.
Del Rio's not going to win.
Right. Yeah.
And Ziggler made, he wasn't going to win the match. There's nothing that shows me that these are the favorites. If I'd name a favorite, Cesaro's a favorite right now.
Yeah.
He needs something barely to rebound after losing to Sheamus that way. Money in the Bank can do it.
So,
especially if one Brock Lesnar shows up at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Well, someone brought this up, Tyler. Apparently the idea at one point for Cesaro winning Money in the Bank, which still is the plan, is that he wins Money in the Bank, and after Brock Lesnar beats Daniel Bryan at SummerSlam, he just cashes it in on Lesnar and beats Lesnar for the belt. Kind of just create friction between the Paul Heyman guys again.
Yeah.
Now, granted, they said that plan might have definitely changed with the whole Bryan scenario right now.
Yeah.
And, who knows at this stage. And maybe they changed mind with Cesaro. Maybe they said Cesaro's just not ready for a Money in the Bank run yet. Who knows? We also saw Money in the Bank guy Yeah, but let's talk about Lance.
Anyways.
Let's talk about Lance Stevenson now all of a sudden,
Yeah.
because that's a pretty good segue. You know, Damien Sandow now is playing people who's not him.
Yeah. It's continued to.
I thought Lance Stevenson, the thing was funny. I can't. It's sports heat is the easiest heat you
Yeah.
can get,
Yeah.
especially if it's a losing.
Yeah. Especially when the Pacers lose
Yes,
to the Miami Heat.
Again.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Grant. It would have been funny if Lance Stevenson, the real Lance Stevenson, was in the audience watching this. But I guess they showed a Pacers player. I forget who it was, but it wasn't Lance Stevenson.
I forget.
It was some Pacers guy who wasn't even a starter.
Right.
It was not like it was Roy Hibbert or anything. It was some random guy on the bench from the Pacers essentially. I forget who it was, but.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was hilarious, but it was pretty much. It's cheap heat in that. But I guess this is Sendow's new gimmick. I think somebody said it best though when he said, "Hey, at least he's getting camera time."
Yeah, I mean,
at least he's on television every week now.
Yeah.
Clearly he's not getting a world title shot with this gimmick, but at least he's getting on, camera time. I don't know. To me, this reminds me almost like, oh boy, who was the guy? He started coming out as like past wrestlers. Like, I'm like, I can't forgot it. He did like a Mr. Perfect cameo, and he dressed up as JBL one time, and I can't forget the performer's name. And if in the comment section knows who I'm talking about, look at. In fact, I might just look it up too. I forget, but I just remember like the guy just came out and he was like stone cold, like Steve Austin said, or JBL or something. But no, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I thought the Sendell thing was interesting.
Yeah. So other than that, I mean, that pretty much brought us to the ending segment.
Yes.
The main event, which was supposed to be Roman Reigns against Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
The Shield come out and they do a pretty good promo from each guy. I mean, Seth basically saying how the Shield adapted or whatever and perish and kind of what Triple H was talking about. And then you get to like Roman Reigns, and it's kind of symbolic how he says like he holds his his open fist out. This is evolution, and then he closes his fist. This is a Shield.
Yeah.
And, invites Randy Orton to come down to the ring so he can nail him with the symbol of excellence, break his jaw with the symbol of excellence or something.
So
here we go.
So I think the symbol of excellence is called the Superman punch now.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, sort of. But yeah, so
I'm pretty sure DC Comics called it and said you can't call it Superman punch.
Yeah.
But it technically is the Superman punch.
Yeah. So that brings out. So then out comes Randy versus Batista. Already out of the building, I guess at this point, as we.
Yes. He left the building. He's going to Hollywood.
As earlier kind of indicated.
Mm-hmm.
So Triple H in the suit, still holding the hammer, comes out with Orton.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Triple H come out with a hammer, supposedly with since there's like a numbers disadvantage here.
But Rollins sees this and grabs a chair.
Looks angered. Grabs. Well, he actually grabs two chairs. Like he leaves one like at the apron.
Huh.
Which I didn't. I don't even know. I didn't even like really notice.
Well, since these chairs apparently can just bend so to the point where you can't even use them anymore. Or
we've seen that.
I mean,
this year.
Well, yes, we have definitely seen a lot of bent chairs.
Yeah.
Mainly
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar's like 5 different chairs he's broken.
Yeah, breaking chairs and just going crazy with that earlier in the year. But yeah, so like looking back on that, that's now you kind of see that. But then, so yeah, he's holding the one steel chair, and then obviously to open today's I guess special opening of the Great Wrestling Debate.
Yes.
That's Triple H. There's always a plan B, and he said how this wasn't going to end until the Shield is over and
it's done. They're done.
So I guess apparently So at some point in the night, I guess which I guess we'll learn in the coming weeks, which should be SmackDown.
Here's the thing. Triple H and Rollins came out on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And Rollins really didn't explain a whole lot about why he and here's the thing, when it came out, they came out to the Evolution theme. So I think the deal was that
the idea is
he's the new member of Evolution.
Right.
He switched from one faction to another faction essentially. But and Rollins was still supposedly wearing his Shield gear too, which I'm pretty sure that's going to change. But I don't know what
I'm surprised he didn't come out in a suit.
It's gonna be it's gonna be weird watching
Yeah, I mean, I can picture, I can picture him,
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, it will be
no,
different. It will
but
be different.
but no, but like 2 years they've been wearing like the SWAT gear, and these guys
Right?
start
Yeah,
wearing different gear.
yeah, it will be. Yeah, but I mean, he's already on the
Yes.
other side of the fence now. Anyway, it was weird
Hmm.
seeing him with standing side by side with Triple H and Randy Orton and not fighting.
Yeah.
Just
But
right after that big match at Payback.
I mean, you're clearly one fan yelling at the first whole, why? Why?
Yeah.
You like show the guy his
So yeah, I mean,
going, why?
yeah, I mean,
And it was like, why?
the chair shot heard around the world.
I think for him, like, the guy felt pissed. Like, why would you kill this amazing team now?
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, but yeah, I mean that's Triple H. There's always a plan B, and you see Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose kind of move forward while Rollins kind of steps back,
Mhm.
and then you can hear in the fans just like, oh, here it comes, and chair
Yeah.
shot. The chair shot heard around the world.
Yes, and then
Roman Reigns.
Ambrose.
Ambrose,
See, here's the thing there too. When I saw Ambrose kind of just stand there, it's like, I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's gonna turn. Like first he's shocked, then he's gonna do like that classic like smile, and then start beating up, But no, but he's sticking.
Yeah.
The guy everybody thought was gonna be the guy who got to turn and end this group is the guy that's sticking with Reigns still.
Yeah, I mean, some people thought like it would be Reigns that would do that, and I didn't think that. I thought
Reigns is
most
being pushed
right,
as
exactly.
as the next. I was going to say the next golden
Super-
child for this company, the next golden goose,
Right,
essentially. They see money with this guy.
Yeah, I didn't think
And don't, there's still money
the
with,
least likely.
to me, all three of these guys are money, but there's one guy who is potential face company essentially,
Yeah.
and that's Reigns. He's got everything they want.
Right.
He's a big guy. He's athletic, and he's over with the crowd.
Yeah.
That's just the blueprint for this company,
Right.
essentially.
Yeah, and he's got the signature moves. He's got he's got the spear, the Superman punch.
Yeah, he's
the taunts.
Yeah,
he's got that.
His mic skills is he's probably the weakest guy still.
Yeah, I mean he
but
can still.
His character
can make up for it.
I feel like his character's whole deal is he lets his talking being in the ring essentially.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Batista when he debuted, he had very weak mic skills too.
Yeah.
Like it took him a while to develop a personality and that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be fixed now. Honestly, I think Rollins, when all said and done, has the stronger mic skills compared to Ambrose.
Yeah.
Like
it'll be interesting to see like these promos now.
But no, I mean, supposedly he cut a promo on SmackDown, and he just said, "Look, the only person who knows why I turned is me."
Yeah.
Now, that would make sense because since SmackDown gets a little views than Raw, and that's technically still the B show and such.
We'll learn.
We're gonna get more details probably on Monday.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and to WWE's credit, Seth Rollins was still trending for 48 straight hours.
Yeah.
After the event, I just learned that it's still trending on Twitter. So the interest is there, and it's just hashtag Seth Rollins.
Yeah, especially when on Twitter on Roman Reigns' Twitter, he after that beat down with the chair, he posts a photo of his back and all the marks on. I don't know if you saw that post, but yeah, I mean that posts that on Twitter and then just says, what did he say? He said like trust is dead to me or something. That was all he had to say.
The question I think now is the Shield really? I mean, even if Ambrose and Reigns team up, is this really the Shield or?
I mean, it's like it's they could still come out and call themselves the Shield.
To me, this is almost like when Triple H back in like 1999 turned on DX and joined the corporation and along with China, and all you had left of DX was X-Pac, Road Dogg, and Billy Gunn, who still came out to the DX. He still did the whole suck it deal and that. Yeah. But at that point, everybody said, no, DX is dead. As soon as Triple H left the group, the only legitimate main eventer on this group at the time, the group was dead.
Yeah.
Dead. It was now guys who thought they were DX, essentially. Yeah. So in my mind, the Shield is dead. These guys can come out, still to the theme and that. I mean, and here's the thing I hope they don't do. Do not add a third new member.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possible. I mean, it wouldn't be the original Shield, obviously. No. And the way...
I mean, and don't get me wrong, has the NWO proven that spin-offs do not work?
Yeah.
You do what the best NWO was? The original NWO.
Yeah.
Not the Wolfpack, not the NWO Hollywood, and not the LWO, the Latino World Order, which was a kind of a parody more of the group.
Yeah.
I mean, originality matters.
Yeah.
To me, it'd be like if Evolution back in the day, Orton got injured. Oh, let's throw in a random young guy again. No.
It's one thing if like, Jinder Mahal, drops out of 3MB and then they throw somebody else in there because nobody cares about them, But
probably the weakest
with the Shield,
in the WWE right now.
And the thing is, too, I mean, a few years down the road, you can have, the Shield might get back together in some form. I mean, that happens to all these factions, So
the one that some people are wondering if it ever happened again, and it can to a degree because you do got some of the guys on the roster still. You're not gonna get the original group, but some guys got left the company and such. But the Nexus was one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember one time it was Wade Barrett versus Justin Gabriel 1-on-1 on Raw, and it was like a massive Nexus chant broke out.
Yeah.
And it was just, and mostly there were some guys backstage, some guys, creative guys, and they're going, huh. Just maybe put in the pipeline in the future, maybe, depending who's still working and how old these guys are. Because, maybe Wade Barrett, Ryback, and Curtis Axel, and how maybe Bray Wyatt says, hey, I'm Husky Harris, everybody.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get an actual like Nexus reunion kind of, and maybe be bigger because these guys are more established now.
I think now like the way like Triple H looks at it, and if you like listen to that exclusive interview, like they're playing it up like, okay, the Shield is dead now because the architect, Seth Rollins is out of it. But yeah, I mean, I think most likely, I mean, for a while, I mean, Ambrose and Reigns are gonna stick together for now. Mm-hmm. They're gonna, I guess, in some form, they're gonna have to change the theme song because if you think about it, like the opening words is like each member, including Seth Rollins, like saying, Sierra Hotel, India, etc. They're gonna. I mean, they might have to alter that.
I don't believe that that's their voices. I believe that's part of the actual
song. You think so? Because I think it's like each.
I think if you look at
saying a different. I don't know. I'll have to look
if you look at the song in the band, I think that's actually in the song.
I'll have to look at it.
I don't think
that's... If you think about it, though, it does kind of sound like, them saying it over like a voice, I don't know.
It's not unheard of. Obviously, there's been plenty of superstars that have sung somewhat of their own theme song, essentially.
Yeah. I mean, this is just them saying words. But yeah, I mean, anyhow. But yeah, I mean, so they might have to change. I don't know if they're going to change that up or anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll wait and see. But I think for the foreseeable future, I mean, Reigns and Ambrose are going to stick together, and eventually they'll turn on each other and break up, and then each guy will be and then maybe Ambrose will be.
I kind of brought this up kind of last year. I think that before Reigns gets his hands on Triple H, I think he's got the feud with Orton kind of. I think that main event was kind of teased a little bit. So the way I see it, Reigns fights Orton maybe for the next pay-per-view. And you might have maybe a tag team match.
Or maybe you have 2-on-2. Yeah, maybe
tag team match too. But I see Ambrose getting the shot at Rollins probably, and then maybe you have Reigns going after Orton maybe. Yeah. And who knows? Maybe Ambrose turns on Reigns no, but like he joins like heel Rollins then, because maybe he comes to the conclusion that clearly somebody's on the winning side here.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be interesting. Definitely next week if they do come out to the Shield theme still, or they have new themes now. I mean, like I said, when Rollins came out with Triple H, he wasn't coming out and telling his old.
He came out to Evolution. Yeah,
he's coming to Evolution's theme. So I guess he's the new member of Evolution. I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if he is, he better start wearing a suit and tie then, and start But even then, I think he needs a new theme song. But no, so I mean, obviously, it makes our live event thing. And
obviously, that too. Like
because I was saying, obviously, it's the Shield. It's probably still the Shield group, but now you got Reigns, Orton, and probably maybe Rollins and Ambrose going 1-on-1.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, interesting to see how it shakes things up. Definitely, but yeah, I mean that's a kind of a sort of a monkey wrench in some sense, but. But no, I mean, like a lot of people are unhappy, obviously, that the Shield broke up, and I mean, kind of the way. I mean, I don't know who else the Shield, as all three of them, if they stuck together, I don't know who they were going to feud with next. No, that's the only thing. I mean,
in my mind, they
just beat Evolution.
I mean, they're only. It's kind of. Maybe there's a point where it's like, okay, we dominated so much, but eventually someone's going to turn on. It made it wrong. Look, he said he knows his business. He knows somebody turns on somebody eventually. Right. Friendships don't last forever in this business. Essentially, he could easily say that on Monday's promo and say like, I turned my back on the Shield, but don't tell me that Dean was not going to do the same thing or Roman was going to do the same thing down the line, because at the end of the day, there's only one guy who's going to be the top guy.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and hell, why not? It gets thrown all the time. Maybe he throws the whole Shawn Michaels Marty Jannetty comparison. He says, "Well, somebody here is going to have to be the Shawn Michaels, and somebody's going to be the Marty Jannetty." In this case, two Marty Jannettis,
Yeah.
which I think counts a little bit of Marty Jannetty. It was like Marty Jannetty had an unsuccessful career.
Yeah.
It wasn't as successful as Shawn Michaels, but
Yeah. So I mean, definitely, it's one of those things. I mean, you hate to see a great run as all three of them together end, but still, it's still interesting right now what's going on, and
yes,
I'm interested to see where things go from here. So, I think I guess we get to the end of this edition of the Great Wrestling Debate. So, yeah, I mean, post your thoughts on this whole heel turn and everything that from Seth Rollins, and where you think things are going to go from here with the Shield.
Obviously, I know one thing where it's going. It's going to be Triple H, Roman Reigns at SummerSlam.
At some point, yeah, at SummerSlam.
How we get there, because we got 2 more pay-per-views yet, it's going to be interesting.
Right.
Obviously, I don't think any of these guys are going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah.
Though that would add more drama to the match, too.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, so. But yeah, I mean, some people.
Wouldn't it be funny if Rollins won the title and then Reigns isn't winning the Rumble, and then, like I said, it's Rollins versus Reigns, maybe?
At WrestleMania. Yeah, I mean.
Because Reigns
that'd be awesome.
I remember one time watching a WrestleMania 30 weekend, it was like the Not Sam channel. It was some radio personality called Sam somebody. He was like a huge wrestling fan. And he does like those interviews with like some top guys in that. And he's talking to Seth Rollins. And Seth, when he asked about all the guys in that and about WWE's like kind of fetish with big guys at one point. And Rollins like, yeah, but he says that's changed though. And Seth's like, yeah, but Roman Reigns is like, here's what I kind of hate about fans is that they look at a guy like Reigns and look at me. And because Reigns can't do what I can do in the ring, it's always saying, well, Reigns is obviously not a good wrestler. It's like, no, he's good at what he does.
Right. Yeah.
Not everybody's going to be able to do what I can do. That's what makes me
do the flips over the top ropes and I don't know.
I mean, for some, and I don't know. I was good at that too. For some reason, there is this kind of wrestling dynamic where if you can't do a backflip, you're obviously a bad wrestler. It's like not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
The point is, can they do well what they're meant to do?
Right.
Reigns is a heavy.
Reigns is really. Yeah.
Reigns is a heavy. Can he play a heavy well? Is the point?
Yeah, I mean, his moves. His signature moves too. I mean.
As crazy as it sounds, but John Cena is not really a bad wrestler. He's not going to do any flips or anything.
Yeah.
He might be a stale wrestler. His character might be dead, but as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't kill anybody with his moves. He hits them safe in that.
Yeah.
It's not like Ryback who almost killed CM Punk that one time.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's where we're headed, and I don't know. I mean, this whole story, definitely kind of ramped up, I think, the interest overall, and yeah, I mean the memes of Ambrose's facial reaction are going to be everywhere.
For me, though, a lot more pressure on Rollins now because now he's going to have to deliver on the microphone now as a heel.
Yeah, for the meantime, it'll probably be with Triple H and Orton on the that mix. So it gives him a chance to find his place as a heel again. Well, I guess with Evolution and being against Ambrose and Reigns now for a change. So yeah, definitely interesting stuff though as we head through the summer. Definitely interesting stuff coming off of Payback, and should be interesting to see next week on Raw, and I guess SmackDown. Even though we kind of spoiled some of it, but
all he said is that Rollins doesn't really go into much detail.
Yeah.
That's about
which is understandable since SmackDown is clearly
and Dolph Ziggler comes out and interrupts.
And
Dolph Ziggler comes out and interrupts it, and Triple H kind of has like an amusing face, like who's this guy coming out essentially?
Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So yeah, we'll definitely look forward to Raw when we probably get more out of this story than what we'll get on SmackDown as we start heading now on the road to Money in the Bank. So. Thank you for tuning in as always on this edition of the Great Wrestling Debate, and stay tuned for next week.